Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. Fuck ice. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty. And I'm from Ignition today. Everyone loves a jewel thief. And Ignition is still a company that, although they haven't landed everything with me personally, I've always found their stuff interesting, and I'm still happy to keep poking at what they do. Overall, as a jewel thief, however, almost didn't make the cut. I hate to say, when I first was doing my order, for people who don't know, it's literally just a massive document with loads of titles. And the title, Everyone Loves a Jewel Thief, made me think of some kind of like high stakes, very slick, very shiny heist movie kind of thing. It's perfect title for that kind of story, and as I have said in a bunch of other reviews about this kind of thing, it has a lot of expected story beats when you do that. The getting the gang together thing, I mean, hell, Rick and Morty's entire episode on this sums up my feelings on it far better than I'm going to get through in just a 5-minute video review that I'm already a minute into. But suffice to say, I didn't get into it thinking, yay, another high-stakes, slick heist story. But then you realise who's involved in it. You've got Tim Seeley as a co-writer, with Aaron Campbell doing the writing and the art as well, with Jordi Belair on the colours. And Aaron Campbell is an artist I hugely admire. I've been lucky to meet him a couple of times at comic conventions, and he's always absolutely lovely. Always takes time to sign whatever I put in front of him. And he's responsible for, with Simon Spurrier, one of my favourite Hellblazer runs of all time. Sadly cut short and then resurrected for just long enough to finish. It is brilliant, and his lo-fi, dingy, scrappy, scratchy horror artwork is perfect for it. But then you look at his other work with Spurrier, or at least one of the other works with Spurrier, and did Suicide Squad Blaze, which is far more high concept, far more shiny, far more depth to the colouring on it. The artwork is elevated by that explosive, vibrant colours, and I think working with Belair in this particular one, that's going to be the one where I'm like, yeah, that's a great pairing. That's going to be something that's going to make me pay attention. And the comic book arrived, and the cover is beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of lo-fi. Yeah, it doesn't have the huge action beats that you expect in a lot of first issues where they're trying to drag people in by the spectacle of the cover. Instead, it is just so confident what it's doing. Limited line work, basic character work, even the colour palette feels slightly reduced, but it is beautiful and eye-catching. Inside, it is again that lo-fi scratchy artwork, but brilliantly done. For the first couple of pages where we just have an interview with people in a police station, and fantastic use of layout, long form panels running down the page where the position of the characters on the panel denotes the space of the room. And it's one of the few times where I'm going to say, yeah, don't worry about the background here. Let the characters do it and just leave it fade to pale, because we don't need all that information. We've got enough from just where they're positioning the characters are. It's brilliantly done, and I love it. And then we do get to the writing of it, and yes, it is a high story, but it's not the high story I was expecting. This is quite considerably one of the dumbest heist ideas I've ever encountered in the story, and I love it for it, because this isn't Aaron Campbell and Tim Seeley failing to come up with a good idea for a heist. It's writing characters who would come up with this heist, and the first issue spending so long on the characters. I love it for that. Don't get me wrong, there's times I think when you can cut back a little bit on the characterization and then lead into that as the story progresses. But heists do this effectively anyway. There's always going to be flashbacks. We're always going to get stuff going on there. There's going to be twists. We're going to find out who these people really are, their secret ideologies, their secret deals and machinations they're going to have within this heist. But for now, we just get brilliantly well-realized characters, from the way they talk to each other, from the way they take up space, from the way they answer questions. Everything about every character here is 100% out there, and I love it. And then, yeah, the heist, it's brilliant. I'm not going to spoil too much on it. It'd be ridiculous for me to do it. It's the kind of story where you need to read it on your own. But when you find out what actually their plan is, you just go, oh yeah, these are exactly the characters who would come up with that plan and think it's amazing. And in your head, you're going to be thinking of all the stuff that's already going to go wrong with it. You're going to look at the gang they've got together, which is done in 2 sequences, and they just meet in a bar and that's it. And I love that it leaves so much unanswered, so they can answer these questions as the story progresses. And then when we get to the final page and we see what actually has gone wrong, at least some of what's gone on, just okay, now I need to know how they're going to do this. Now I need to know how they went about it and how it went wrong. Honestly, it is enticing in a way I wasn't expecting. I have, and I'm not going to lie here, before doing this review, just gone and ordered a few more copies of it because I think this is going to be bigger than a lot of other people do right now. I know for English on Press they're still not quite up there with like Vault or Image or Mad Cave, but I think stuff like this with this creative team, it's gonna get them out there, and I feel like it's the kind of thing where word of mouth is going to reach enough people that this will be huge, and I can't wait for that success for everyone involved. That's it for me for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.